because I was also talking to my therapist about, like, she always asks me, like, oh, how's podcasting going whenever I see her? And I had told her, like, I haven't sat in my chair in over a year. And she was like, well, why? And I was about to tell her, like, oh, life, this happened in life, this happened in life. And then I caught myself and I was like, well, I actually have to stop using life as an excuse as to why I'm not working on my craft, because life is always going to be life. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Just Jay the Podcast, where we have real conversations based on real perspectives. It has been over a year since I've been sitting in this chair. We have so much to talk about. I have literally a month-by-month breakdown to catch you guys up on my life. I low-key forgot what I even really was telling y'all before, but I'm back. I'm better. I know I always dibble and dabble and come in and go out and come in and go out, but I'm here to stay. Also, I want to say thank you to everybody that has supported my show. Thank you to everybody in my fan base who has always welcomed me back when it came time for me to come back to the mic. Thank you for always understanding when I come up here and I spill my excuses on why I wasn't here or why I didn't record. It's always all love. And I think I actually have an episode dropping next week with Record Rhea, who is going to get so many shout outs in this episode. But I was talking to her because she's also coming off of a hiatus too. She's been working a little bit more than me, though. I won't lie. But she was also coming off of a hiatus, and we were talking about it on the episode, which y'all will see next week, like I said. But I was telling her, I said, one thing that really brings me a lot of solitude, but I also think that I've been falling back on it a little too much, is that I know the fan base that we built is here to stay. So whenever I, take a step away and come back, I already know that my fan base is going to welcome me with open arms every time. Does that mean I should continue to just go back and forth on the hiatus tip and just not take this consistently and take this serious? No. Because I was also talking to my therapist about, she always asks me, oh, how's podcasting going whenever I see her? And I had told her, I haven't sat in my chair in over a year. And she was like, well, why? And I was about to tell her, oh, life, this happened in life, this happened in life. And then I caught myself and I was like, well, I actually have to stop using life as an excuse as to why I'm not working on my craft, because life is always going to be life. So I don't even know. I can't even tell you why I actually stepped away. And she acknowledged, she was like, I'm proud of you for even saying or catching yourself in that moment and saying oh, I'm giving excuses now and I really don't have to. So I think me stepping away has not been because I was going through the most catastrophic things. It really wasn't. I think it started off that way, but I think over time, I had just really been focused on my career, my relationships, and just being happy that it kind of fell to the wayside. And I feel like it always does, but I do know my gift. And I do know that this is something that I'm really, really God has called me to do this for a reason, and God has created what he's created surrounding it for a reason. So, like I said, I'm back. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. And yeah, let's get into it. So, like I said, I have a month-by-month breakdown because I wanted to start with the check-in, and then we're going to go into all the tea that's happened since you last saw me, and then we'll get into some juicy topics, okay? I have a really good show for y'all. I'm not even going to lie. The last time I sat on this couch was a year ago. I was in a totally different place. It's actually funny because the episode that you guys last saw from me that night, my boyfriend asked me to be his girlfriend. So it's a year of not podcasting has literally been a year of me in this new career that I love, in this new relationship that I love. So many things are different for me. And even I don't want to spoil too much of the episode that you're going to get next week, but when I was sitting down with Rhea, because that's the first guest that I decided to sit down and come back into podcasting with, and I'm happy that I did because we had just have such a great connection that it was just me sitting on the couch talking to my cousin for real. And there were so many gems that we both dropped in that episode now that I'm thinking about it. But I just was telling her, like, I'm also kind of in the middle of another rebrand where it's like the podcast isn't changing. We all know nothing about the podcast is really changing. It's more so everything about me has changed to where when I articulate things to y'all, I'm mindful of like what I'm saying. I'm mindful of like the message that I'm sending out now because I'm also understanding that the same girl that started this podcast when she was 21 is not the same girl that's sitting in front of you that's 26 now. Everything about me is different. A lot of things, and even when I watch my episodes back, it's like sometimes I cringe because it's like, oh, I don't feel that way anymore. I don't agree with that statement that I said. And that's amazing. And I think that's also why one of the reasons that I really love podcasting is because it allows you to see yourself in all different stages of life the longer that you do it. So like I have a 5-year vault right now of like 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26-year-old me. That's just like, wow, like it's amazing to look back on. Like I really have a legacy of all these videos, episodes, everything. So that's another reason that I kind of took a step back and really tried to come back correct because I'm in a whole different bag. I'm in a whole different mode in my life. So I kind of got to be mindful of what I share. I kind of got to be, and there's a lot of things in my life that I just really want to keep private. And I really do feel like it's sacred for me. So like, even when it came down to like me being gone for a year, I was like, damn, how am I going to present or how am I going to speak about my relationship? Because that's so sacred for me. And it's so like amazing. And it's something that I've really never experienced in this way before to where it's like, damn, I kind of do want to keep it to myself. I kind of do want to like, not really talk about it. But I've always been the girl that sat on the couch and talked to her shit though. So it's like, you kind of gotta figure that out. And I've always been transparent. I've always been honest. I've always been an open book. So it's not about that changing. It's about how I go about that has changed. So we'll get on that. We'll get into all of that as the show goes on. But let's start with our month-to-month breakdown. I've never been away from podcasting for this long, but I'm excited because I do have a lot to catch y'all up on. So January, we'll start with January, obviously. In December, I was asked to be on a live show by Miss Wreck-It Raya herself, who is the host of the Reckless Female Podcast. It's actually just called the Reckless Podcast, but no, is it? Hold on. I'm gonna tell you right now. Hold on. Edit this out. Or down. I don't care. The Reckless Talk Podcast. What the fuck was I talking about? She's the CEO and host of the Reckless Talk Podcast, and I was honored when she asked me in December, and it was like before the live show we had done like a Instagram live where me and the rest of the girls that are going to be like doing panels in the live show got to like connect and see each other and meet, and that was when I knew, okay, Rhea got some of the best bitches she knew in this shit, and two, everybody that I met on that Instagram live fit exactly what the mission was for the live show. Rhea's whole mission was like, I want to showcase these girls because they're, number one, she sees everybody. She's like a talent agent where like she can see your talent before you even see your talent. Because I remember I was on her show back in 2022 when I was first starting out, like very first, like very new to the game, just getting my networking in, like, and that was one of my first like connections for real that was actually like solid. Because I feel like a lot of people back in the day was making connections with me because I was just new in the game and I was bad as hell, so they was just like, well, I want to be next to her. But like, I think Rhea really, really was like somebody that saw my vision and understood my potential from the beginning. So, and it's funny because even when I was on that episode in 2022, she had said that like she wanted to do something like that, like a live show. And it's so funny that like 4 years later, it came into fruition and I was a part of it. It's just a full circle moment that was amazing. A lot of you probably did see like my clips and stuff on Instagram about the live show. So if you didn't, go tune into that. Also, I probably will be posting more about the live show, just like old throwback clips once this episode drops, just for you guys to see it. And if you didn't already. Yeah. January, I did say after the live show, I said, okay, this is going to be what puts me back in the element to get back into podcasting. Did that happen? No. But I'm mad that it didn't because I feel like the momentum that we had after the live show, we were so on a high that if I would have just got back into podcasting, it would have just went, and I would have been on top of the world. But I didn't. And, I I'm here now, okay? I'm here fucking now. Hello, hi. So yeah, January was amazing. I think we had a really good turnout, and I was telling Rhea, again on the episode that y'all will see next week because I interviewed her. I was telling her that I would do that over and over and over and over and over again with that same group of girls, with a different group of girls. It doesn't matter because I feel like the love and support that she poured into us that night was just different. It was unlike anything I've ever felt before. And again, the fact that it was an all female podcast, it was literally called the Reckless Female Podcast, the Reckless Female Live Show. So like the fact that we got to do that and everything. Look, then she made coasters. I got coasters with my picture on it. These are all the girls that were on it with me. I got a fan over there. Like it was everything. It was everything. So I think that the fact that it was an all women's panel also really did make me understand like, oh no, like the support is real, the love is real. In a male dominated industry, like we rock that shit. And I would do it over and over and over and over again. February, like I was saying before, I had just made a year in my career in March, which is insane. So in February, in one of the school districts that I worked in, I had helped with the Black History Month Assembly. And I feel like as a Black woman, being a part of that for a predominantly Black, student population was amazing, especially in a school district that is predominantly white, as far as administration and all of that goes. You know what I mean? I think that over the year of my career, and again, I'm touching on it now, we'll obviously expand on it later in the episode. I feel like this has probably been the best year of my life career-wise because it has allowed me to really understand my impact and really understand how to really be a boss for real. Like I worked in 2 school districts where I really didn't have a lot of knowledge in, but I do now. I feel like I'm so in the community now that it's like it's not even funny. Like one of the other schools that I worked in, they just had their moving up ceremony, and they allowed me to. I get so emotional talking about it because it's just like the love was unreal. And it's so crazy because I worked in a predominantly white school and then I worked in a predominantly Black school. So it was kind of like a back and forth every week in my mind. Like, okay, let me, I gotta put my white professional voice on and act like I'm, not act like, but really be on my P's and Q's because you know how white people are. Then I got this Black school where it's like, okay, I can kind of let my guard down a little bit because they love me for me and they appreciate the work that I do and all the help that I give to them. So the predominantly Black school that I worked in, they allowed me to come on stage and sit on the stage with the superintendents and the deans and the principals, and I'm just like, wow, like I'm honored to be here as just like somebody who was just trying to help. And the principal, who I love, she gave me a shout out on the mic, obviously, and the whole crowd went crazy. I remember looking into the crowd, and one of my students that I worked with a lot was the first person to start clapping, and it was so surreal. So my career has really changed my life and changed how I view a lot of things. And I'm not taking a lot of shit that, you know what I mean? And I feel like every place that I worked has given me the experience to be a little bit stronger and have a little bit more of a backbone and really know how to advocate. But so now I'm really in my bag and I really do it well. So, yes, March, I made a year in my career, which was amazing. I got back into the gym. I got back in Pilates. I am definitely a Pilates girl now. I just had my man do a couple of Pilates class with me. Babe, these men out here thinking that Pilates is just cutesy and we got our cute little pink bows and all of that. That man, and first of all, I ain't about to play you, boo. But my man and every other man in that room was like, holy shit, y'all do this every week? Yeah, babe, about 2-3 times. So I'm a Pilates girl now. It's just, my boyfriend was also the motivation for me to get back into the gym and get back on Pilates because he's really, I pray I interview him one day. But then again, that man looks so good. I wouldn't even want to put him on y'all camera. I wouldn't even want to put him on y'all screen, baby, because it's just, oh my God, that man is so cool. He's so fine. So I was like, this man ain't about to be super duper fine, and I'm about to be just, gaining all my weight back from, I'm not doing it. I wasn't doing it. So I got back in the gym, and I'm happy that I did because, hello, we ain't about to do that. Also, I'm happy that one thing that I do want to say as a reflection moment, and this is another thing, as a 26-year-old woman who has totally, I feel like my mind has totally changed from when I was 21 to when I started the show at 21 to now at 26. Like, a lot of my opinions have changed, my perspectives have changed. So like, and I'm also able to reflect a lot easier. So I will sit in my car or at home or whatever, and I'll think about the day or I'll think about the week, and I'll be like, okay, I could have done this better. I could have said that better. I could have, acted a little bit better. I could have been a little nicer. My reflection game and my accountability game are so strong right now, and I never thought I'd see the day. Because we always like to say, oh, I'm a good communicator. I know how to take accountability. I'm all these things, until it comes down to you actually doing it. So my one thing that I can reflect on is that I'm really happy that I never got the life that I thought I wanted before, because I had no idea that God had all these blessings waiting for me all along. And it brings me back to when I shot the Boss Man episode way like in 2025, when I originally did my rebrand. That episode, I was in such a place where I was like so done with dating. I was like, these men ain't shit. Like, hello. Like, I just was so over it. Then I had just got my new job. So I was like, what is about to happen in my life? Where is it about to take me? And I'm so happy that girl, because when you're going through something, you're like, damn, I wish that this could stay the same. I wish that this person could stay in my life. I wish that I could still be doing this. But the growth that has come from my life since then, I'm so glad I didn't get what I thought I wanted, because I didn't know God had all these things. God had a huge teddy bear behind his back for me. And I was sitting here crying over a little damn little miniature, something. Like, I didn't know what I was about to be receiving, because I was losing all these things, and I was so confused on why things had to go, and why. Now I know why certain things had to go, and now I understand why certain people had to go too, honestly. And I'm not, God, I ain't asking you no questions. I ain't questioning nothing anymore, because I literally see all the work that he was doing in my life, and I couldn't be more grateful and more understanding in this moment. That's March. April. Hello, we know I'm an April baby. I turned 26. My 26th birthday, I did like a little Pilates class. That's where this sign is from. Welcome to Aajaylah's Pilates. Hello, I had all my homegirls. I had my boyfriend's mom pop out. My boyfriend's sister popped out for me. Who else? Miss T Talk, Tiana Heath popped out for me. Tiana also popped out at the live show. Oh my gosh, she's been so supportive of me this year, and I owe her more than the world, babe. I owe her a lot. So shout out to her. My 26th birthday, my boyfriend also took me to Costa Rica. And it's amazing because we had an amazing time. Costa Rica was probably, no, I don't even want to say probably. Costa Rica was the best trip I've ever been on in my life. When I tell you, he planned everything from the moment my feet landed in that damn airport to the moment I had to leave. And it was just the most magical, peaceful thing that I had ever endured in my life. And I had never seen anybody really take my birthday so seriously, because I'm usually the one that takes it that seriously. So for him to do all of that for me, it was amazing. Like, I had the time of my life. I'm gonna try to insert some pictures and some clips for y'all as this episode goes on, so y'all could see all the things that have happened in my life. But Costa Rica was phenomenal. I would go back again and again. I want to buy a farm and a house out there so fucking bad, so I can just go out there and dip on y'all. And I would love to record an episode in the Costa Rican rainforest. Like, hello. So April was amazing. Trial ended for my cousin. I'm not sure. Again, I don't remember what the hell I told you. I don't remember where our last conversation left off, babe. But my family and I we're in the middle of trial for my cousin that was murdered in 2016. It's so crazy because literally the trial ended in 2026 and he died 10 years ago. So it was insane. Sitting in those courtrooms, listening to all the things, it was just a lot. But by the grace of God and every angel up there working with me, including him, we got a guilty verdict. And baby, they're going to jail. They're going to jail. They're going to prison. Excuse me. They're going to prison. See you later. But yeah, we got a guilty verdict. So we are just waiting for sentencing. Sentencing should be, we got a guilty verdict in April. Sentencing should be around the corner, hopefully, fingers crossed, because I really want to put that whole part of my life to bed, because that was just, when you lose somebody 10 years ago and you see evidence and footage and pictures of them and mugshots of them on the screen, it's almost like somebody's just ripping the Band-Aid off all over again. Or it's just like, I don't want to say that wound was healed for me and my family, because I don't think it ever would be, but we had just gotten to a place where we were kind of moving forward and trying to just keep his name alive and just keep pushing. And I think us going through that trial, I don't want to say it set us back a little bit, but emotionally, hell yeah, it definitely did. So I'm really glad that has been over with, I should say. Changes in my career started happening in April also, because that was when I really started to see that people will love you when you come in and you can help them and you can make their job easier and you can do things slightly better than they can, until you are in a school district that is predominantly white administration, teachers, and all of the things, and you're servicing Black kids that they can connect to. Once you start connecting to them and they start to love you and you start to really thrive in your position and in your space, that's when the hate starts to come. So in April was tough for me, because it was kind of like the places that I loved going, because I loved the kids and I loved the people, became places that I somewhat hated going, but I knew that I had to go, and I stuck it out because I love the kids. So a lot of it was for the kids. And I feel like I don't regret anything that happened. I don't regret how anybody treated me, because girl, and it was like walking in the hallways and you hear the side eyes and you see the whispers from all the white people, and they're just looking at you as this Black girl who just came in and thought she was going to save the day. But when I first came in, it was like, oh, we got this Black girl. She's super cool. She's so educated. She's a genius. She's going to help us. She's going to take all of our problems away. And I did, until I started turning it around and being like, okay, I'm taking y'all problems away, but you're not helping me. I'm giving y'all all the resources, all the information, all the things, everything, and y'all are not helping me. So that's when it kind of backfired, because I was like, oh, nah, you're not going to keep working me to the bone and reaping all my benefits when I'm doing all the work. It's not how it works here. And I started also playing the same game as them, and then it was like, oh, we hate her, get her out of here. So, but it's okay. That is okay, because a girl like me, and also the organization I work for supported me throughout the whole way. So it was never like I actually deserved to be removed, or you know what I mean? It was never like I did anything wrong that justified them treating me the way that they did. So them treating me the way that they did and seeing that it wasn't affecting me and I was going to love on my kids even more made it even worse. So just the learning the skills and the lessons that I learned, like I learned how to love on those kids. I learned what they need. I learned that it only takes one adult to actually sit a child down and listen to them for them to change how they behave. I will never take for granted how many kids chose me to be their safe adult. And when the school tried to pull what they tried to pull and remove me from the building, that caused an uproar. I had students protesting. I had parents protesting. I had parents up at that school. I had kids not trying to do. I had kids and families turning shit up for me. And it was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen, because that's exactly what I had been teaching them to do, to advocate for yourself and advocate for what you want and what you love, and do it respectfully. They literally did everything I had ever taught them to do. It was sad because they had to do it for me. So I say all that to say, like, I've learned a lot in this career. I love what I do. Shortly after that, I got a new promotion. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, people keep trying to test me, keep trying to shit on me, and keep trying to act like I'm not that girl and act like I don't have this talent and all these things and this gift. And God is still blessing me. So it's like, I don't want to say I'm so full of myself right now, but I'm so connected with God, and I'm so connected to what he really has in store for me, because I see it and I feel it and I know it. So like, That's the biggest slap in the face for somebody to like think that they beat me down and they broke me down and they took me out of a place, and then I get a new blessing that comes with an even bigger bag. You know what I mean? So like, you did all that for nothing, because I'm still that girl. Them kids still love me. I was just with them today. I just took them skating. Like and also that's another thing. The connections that I have with both of these. First of all, I worked in 2 different school districts. Obviously, one predominantly white, one predominantly black. So that was also like a back and forth thing where it's like, mentally, I'm like, damn. In the predominantly white one, I'm like, okay, I gotta be on my P's and Q's. I gotta be that girl. I gotta say what I mean what I say. In the predominantly black school, I'm like, okay, I can put my guard down a little bit because they respect me. They understand what I'm doing. They appreciate the work that I'm doing because essentially it's helping them. So in the mix of getting both experiences, it was kind of like, damn, this is such a mind fuck where it's like back and forth all week. But I'm appreciative of both of the experiences at the same time because it really let me understand, oh, this school politics stuff is not a game. These kids need people that are willing to step into the fire and step into the crossfire and actually advocate and support for them and do everything that I did. So I don't have any regrets as far as that because, and now my promotion allows me to work with older kids because I was working with grades 6 through 8 in the middle school. And this new promotion allows me to work with the older kids who are in high school who are involved in the criminal justice system. So if they're on probation, they've been arrested, I'm working with them, which is amazing because that's what I went to school for, which is why they essentially gave me the promotion. So right now I'm kind of in limbo where I'm doing both in a sense. Like I started this new position. I've been doing great with that. And then I'm also still holding like my old position because I'm never going to let those kids go. Let's be honest. I don't care who you hire. I don't care if you find somebody tomorrow to go in my position and there's never going to be another Miss Hill. I'm sorry. Those kids know it. That's them schools know it. Them teachers know it. Them parents know it. My whole organization know it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I did what I was set to do. I planted my seeds. For every kid, I tried to plant at least one seed, tried to teach them at least one lesson. And I know when they're 18, 19, 20, or even 26 at my age, they're going to look back and be like, oh, Miss Hill held me down. Miss Hill knew I was a good kid and she never let them convince her that I wasn't because of their perspective of me. She listened to me. She did everything that she could to understand why I acted the way I acted. And essentially, her understanding why I act the way I act made me not want to act like that. Made me want to show a positive representation and narrative of myself. So I know it because we never forget middle school. We never forget the teacher that had our back. We never forget the security guard that made us laugh every single day. We'd never forget that. So I'm in a good space, and I'm appreciative that God put me in this position to service those kids and those families because we're connected for life, like forever. Yeah. And like I said, there was some good and some bad, but hey, they hate you. They're going to hate you regardless. That's another thing that I learned. They're going to hate you regardless. So why not do your job really, really fucking well and put on your cutest little office outfit? Because that's another thing too. Like I was always in that bitch. I was either super cute and classy or I was super cute and somewhat comfy with my sneakers on because I liked to be, I enjoyed showing up to school wearing the same sneakers as a lot of the kids that are walking around. I enjoyed showing up to school in my jeans, in my cute shirt, like a lot of the kids that are walking around this school. You know what I mean? Like the more they feel like you can relate to them, the more they'll fuck with you. And I feel like when, hold on, I got it in my notes real quick. The man from Everybody Hates Chris, I had watched a interview of him and he had basically said, Tyler James Williams, he had basically said, when kids see that, like when you walk into a school with sneakers on, it automatically grabs the kids' attention, especially if they have that pair of sneakers. Sneakers is relatable. So when they see sneakers and fun outfits that you're wearing to work, the kids, it gives them something to relate to. So sneakers are also, it kind of shortens the age gap between you and the student. I feel like that's another thing that a lot of teachers or administration struggle with because it's like you're trying to be an authoritative like role in their life and you're trying to, reprimand them and do all the things, but like you have to be relatable. And obviously you're older than this child, so there's automatically that age gap which kind of shortens your relatability span, if you will. So like doing things and acting how they act shows them that you are really a human like them. You really go through things like them. So I just think that new generations of teachers and counselors should strive to be more relatable, because relatability is how you get kids to trust you with their feelings and their thoughts. That's the only way. If you're relatable, that's the only way they're going to tell you their deepest, darkest secrets. You know what I mean? So that was my take on how I was going about it. I tried to be as relatable as possible. And I know that my outfits was one thing that really started the relatability. I have enjoyed my career. I love everything that it's taught me, and the way it has made me more aware of school systems and politics too, so that when it's time for me to have kids, I'm ready. Because I think that I've gotten a lot of experience with them. I've gotten a lot of experience with their parents also, so I know how things work. I think that my old executive director, Rasmia, I love her. Shout out to her if she ever sees this. But she has sent me a text message for Mother's Day, and it was basically like, I know you're not a mother yet, but the love that you pour into those kids, you are just as a mother as I am. And that really stuck with me, because it really made me understand, like, I have a lot of my kids have me saved in their phone as either big sister, auntie, mom-in-law, stepmom, all these things. Not mom-in-law, but you know what I mean? I meant stepmom. And that speaks volumes, because I feel like I've always tried to show up as the big sister role. I've always tried to show up as just someone who was a part of your family, who never really wanted to judge you and just reprimand you all day, because that was never my thing. Yes, I'm holding you accountable, and I'm telling you, if your behavior disappointed me, I'm going to let you know that. But I never wanted to lead with the authoritative figure, because that's not who I am. That's really not. So, and especially when everybody else in the school building is operating in that mode and leading with that, I don't want that, because I want you to look at me like, oh, okay, Miss Hill's coming. Okay, I can be cool. She's going to be cool. I can tell her about my day. I can tell her how I'm feeling. If I'm upset about something, she's going to listen to me. I don't have to act like everything is okay, and I don't have to put on a show, because I know she actually cares. So I think that text really showed me, okay, I am doing a lot of work. I am doing really, really good work. Even for my birthday, when the whole situation happened where the school tried to kind of remove me from the building, I should say. Not only did my kids and and the parents protest, literally, when I tell you literally, on the day of my birthday was a Monday. Literally on my birthday, them kids was protesting with signs and banners and everything that said, we need Miss Hill back, free Miss Hill. I'm gonna show y'all. I literally have them right here. Hold on. I'm gonna show you right now. Wait a second. Let me give you one example. Boom. This was when I went back to the school to go collect my things. This is what was on my door. We need Miss Hill back. We love Miss Hill. Get Miss Hill back. We love Miss Hill. Justice for Miss Hill. They knew that white people treated me wrong, and they still had my back. So again, this is everything that I taught them to do. I teach them to advocate for themselves. I teach them to advocate for the things that they love. And that's peaceful, and that's respectful, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. So, child, my job has never been easy. It has been probably one of the hardest things that I've ever done day to day. But it's been so soul gratifying, because I know that them kids love me. I know that them parents love me. And my job literally consists of me advocating and supporting students and families in and out of school. And I did exactly that. And I'm still doing that. So, and the love and the acceptance I have received from doing that has been amazing. So, and even talking about it, I'm getting so emotional, because I'm just like, even today, like the love that I got from them today, and just hanging out with me, like they really enjoy just being around me. Like my presence is enough for them. So, and I never thought I never have felt that before from a group of literally 12, 13-year-olds ever. So it's just, I'm really, the school politics is hard, and the school politics, if I wasn't the person that I am today, and if I didn't have the experience that I had in previous school districts that wasn't the best, I probably would have been discouraged going into this position. But because of the experience that I had, and because of the knowledge that I already knew about my own personal experiences, I feel like it made me even more equipped to do this. I have no problem being Miss Hill, who was extra, who was passionate, and really liked that about her kids. Behind them kids, if some shit popped off, behind them kids, I'm probably standing right next to their mamas. I ain't even gonna hold you, and their mamas probably be looking for me to where Miss Hill at, because they know I have literally helped those moms do a lot of things. I've helped those kids do a lot of things. And I will never stop bragging about it because my kids literally, even for Valentine's Day, I had one of my kids come get me from, I forget, I think I was in my office or something, and she was like, yo, come down here. We went to go to one of my students was in trouble, which whatever, that's nothing new. So she goes down there and she's like, all right, read it for her. These kids had wrote me speeches about how much they love me and presented them to me on Valentine's Day. Then one of the girl that had come to my office to come get me, tough cookie, really tough. This is the same girl that had her own guidance counselor who has been there for years, coming to me, asking me for advice on how I can help her build her relationship with her. And mind you, I'd only been there a couple months. So again, impact speaks volumes. When you have people who have been in a position similar to yours forever coming to you for your tips and tricks, you're doing something right. So again, tough cookie. She literally wrote on a huge poster board 50 reasons why I love you on Valentine's Day. Like, and this is what I'm saying, like, who do you know that has 7th graders taking time out of their day to do something like that? Like, again, the love and support that I've given to them is why they treat me the way that they do. So again, no matter where I go, no matter who they try to put in my new position or put in my old position, Miss Hill is always going to be that girl. Miss Hill is always going to be in their corner. And shout out to Jackson, because Jackson was literally the reason for Miss Hill. He literally was my first student ever, and he literally is the blueprint to how this all came about. Like, if it wasn't for me meeting him, I probably wouldn't even be in this career path. But I'm here, I'm happy, and I always said I always wanted to be the counselor I would have wanted when I was younger. And I think I did just that. Like, some of the events that I planned for them were, like, in December we had a overnight retreat. I called it an overnight retreat to give it like a fancy name, but it was just like a sleepover. We went to my organization's headquarters. We had a sleepover. We had dinner together. We watched movies. It was amazing. And I always, like, even in that experience, I was like, damn, I wish somebody would have did this for me when I was younger. So really, my whole purpose and mission in this role is just to do and give them every opportunity and everything that I never had it when I was in middle school. Because middle school is a vital time, and I think a lot of people, especially the administration and teachers now, they forget that. I'll be looking at them like, girl, you was in 7th grade too. When you was in 7th grade, you wasn't wilding out with your homies in the hallway? Oh yeah, I was. Exactly. So that's why I don't trip over nothing when it comes to those kids. Yes, they might get a little mouthy. Yes, they might do a lot and do too much sometimes. But at the end of the day, so did I in 7th and 8th grade and 6th grade, especially 6th grade. Get the fuck out of here. I started with them. Once I started my position, my kids had just got to 6th grade. So I really have, and they're about to be in 8th grade now. I have some kids who went off to high school, but they're about to be in 8th grade now. So I've gotten them through pretty much their whole middle school career. And I've done an amazing job. And I'm happy that I was here for them because, again, it only takes one adult to believe in you. It only takes one adult for you to be like, okay, they understand me. So school is not so bad of a place now, you know? So shit, I've done a lot. I did the December sleepover. I did a coat drive for them where I collected coats and gave them all brand new coats. Then I donated them to the local shelter. In Black History Month, the Black History Month assembly in February that I did. A lot of things. I've done so many things with them. So, child, I don't know. Back to, I talked about that already. I don't even want to talk about that. Costa Rica. Let's go back to Costa Rica. I went to Costa Rica I went in May because I went the week after my birthday. So yeah, it was the beginning of May, the first week of May. Best trip of my life. Like I said, my boyfriend planned literally everything from beginning to end. He had us in 2 different Airbnbs. We went for a whole week. So it was like the first week was in a different Airbnb in like the jungle side of Costa Rica. Then the second half of the week, we went to a different Airbnb that was in like the city side of Costa Rica, which again, like, he had paid so much attention to all of the things that I loved in the amount of time that I knew him and was with him, to where all of it came out in this trip. Like, I'm an earth sign. I'm a Taurus. Hello. We love to be outside. We love to be in the jungle. We love to be out doing all these things. But also I'm a city girl too. So I love to be in the city and I love to see different things. So like the 2 different Airbnbs and the 2 different spaces in Costa Rica was like everything for me. I just think that, like, it was so romantic and very personal to us and personal to me that in the beginning of our relationship, he had asked me, like, where would you like to go? And I said Costa Rica. So like for him to take me there and be so adamant about it, and I ain't gonna lie, up until my birthday when he was like, oh, we're going to Costa Rica, I did not believe him. I did not believe him because how many, sometimes a lot of men out there be talking and they're like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and they never do it. So I'm just at a point where like you're gonna have to show me. You know what I mean? So, and he definitely showed me. I ain't gonna lie, so I'm gonna shut up after this. But I did not believe him. I did not believe him at all. So when he pulled it off the way that he pulled it off, I was blown away. Like I really, really, really was fucking blown away. He did his fucking bid fun. There's a quote from the movie Ruth and Boaz. If you didn't see that movie, go watch that movie. It's amazing. But they did an interview. Tyler Lapel did an interview with Keke Palmer, and he said, we always feel like we have to have everything figured out to receive love. But love meets you where you're at. And when I heard that, it immediately made me thankful that I gave the relationship that I'm currently in a chance, because it's like he came in at a time where I had done so much work on myself. And I was also doing so much healing and reflecting that I think he caught me at the perfect time. I feel like if he would have caught me 2 years before, it wouldn't have worked. Because I don't know if I was necessarily in the mindset to even receive a love like this, for real. And also, like, after the boss, not to keep going back to the Boss Man episode, because I feel like I refer to that a lot. But in that episode, I have also just left a super, like, tumultuous situation. So like when I met my boyfriend, what, 2-3 months later, it was like, and I ain't gonna lie, I knew that man was fine. Hello, are you kidding me? Like I said, I don't even want to put him on this couch because I don't even want y'all staring at him, drooling through the camera. But I knew he was fine. Bro, I knew he was fine. Are you crazy? But at the same time, it was almost like, yeah, he's fine, but I gotta stay away. Because first of all, I just came off of some fucking fucked up shit. Just went through some shit. I'm trying to get my shit together. I just got this new job. I really need to fucking focus and stay tunnel vision. So for the first, I met him in, I want to say the end of April. No, I want to say the beginning of April. We didn't go on our first date and really start talking until the end of May. Because I was just like, nah, like I ain't even about to do all that, because I'm really focused on me right now, because I've been through so much during that time. So, like, I'm happy that when I did meet him, and it did, first of all, he courted me, like, his courting process with, like, trying to get me and, like, win me over was so amazing and so different. So I think that also was one of the big reasons where I was like, no, I'm going to give this man a chance, because he's working his ass off to really get to know me and really make me feel safe and comfortable and just happy to be around him. So I'm happy that I gave it the chance that I did, because I don't know, if I would have listened to my mind instead of my heart, I probably would have taken much longer to even let him get next to me and say hello for real. But because and he also really felt different. It felt like, okay, let me give this a try. This could be really fucking good. I just came off some whack shit with some fucking terrible people. Let me, like, he's a cool dude. Like, hello? So I was like, fuck it, let me try. And I'm really, really glad I did, because that's a man that takes the time to help you unlearn all your unhealthy tendencies and habits, not add to them. So that was different within itself for me, because it's like, damn, you're not adding to my trauma. You're not adding to my toxicity. You're not adding to why I feel like I can't trust niggas and it's fuck them. And so, no, bro, there's so many times where he's literally sat me down and literally rewired my brain chemistry within one conversation. So, like, and it's just been so interesting to see the relationship grow, because navigating a relationship when you both have two totally different upbringings is also very different, because he was raised around a lot of women. He has sisters, he has his mom, his grandma. He was raised around a lot of women. So when it comes to handling women, he does it so beautifully. He knows how to be emotionally mature. Hold on. Okay, I thought my dogs were barking. He's so emotionally mature. He's so emotionally intelligent. Like, he gets everything. He knows when like my emotions shift. He knows when my mood shifts. I have never had somebody handle me with such care and such delicacy. It's almost like he's handling me as if God literally handed me to him directly and said, listen, take care of this one. Like, you really need to be careful. And he understood the assignment because him being raised like that and knowing how to treat me and be soft and all of the things versus me being raised around all these men who, and I'm operating in such a alpha female energy and such a masculine energy to where I'm overly independent. I'm really trying to just like, I ain't gonna lie, I have the overly independence. I have the aggressiveness. I have all of the things of a woman who was raised around a whole bunch of men. You got to think, I have so many brothers. I have uncles. I have fucking male cousins out the ass. Like, literally, it's like insane. And I feel like I didn't realize that our different upbringings affect us every single day on a day-to-day basis. Because even when my man is like soft and sweet and is nurturing, sometimes it irritates the fuck out of me, and sometimes it really pisses me off because I'm like, are you trying to make me feel like I'm a bitch for real? You know what I mean? Mind you, hello babe, you are one, you know. So it's like, why am I getting irritated by somebody trying to take care of me and take the load off of my shoulders? Oh, I'm irritated because I have never had anybody do that. I'm irritated because I was raised around all these men and I literally watched, and you know how it is. Men in society get the worst end of the stick when it comes to providing for their families, taking care of their children, doing all these things. I have the epitome of the coolest, dopest uncles, cousins, brothers, all the things. So I have seen men get it out the mud and hustle and really be independent and do their own thing. So that's all I've known. So when it came to him being soft and nurturing with me, it was almost like I took offense to it. Because it's like, babe, I'm independent as fuck. I could do all this shit without you, plus then some. But it's like, he never even asked me that. It was never about if I could do it for myself or anything. It was about, I know you can do it for yourself, but let me do it for you. So you don't have to do it for yourself. And like over the year of being in this relationship with him, it has taken so much time for me to unlearn that shit. I still haven't fully grasped it. Because even yesterday, he was being so nice, being so sweet, and I was just not in the mood. First of all, I had barely fucking slept. He took me to a movie, and I was just, once the movie was over, I was like, okay, can we go to bed now? You know what I mean? So it's just like, and even he was being so sweet, like, are you okay? What's wrong? And it was irritating the living shit out of me because it's like, bro, I'm cool. I'm straight. All right? Let's just go home. Because again, when I'm in a bad mood, my brothers leave me the fuck alone. They know, oh, let's not fuck with that bull. Let's leave her the fuck alone. So like, I'm not used to people being like, okay, are you okay? Tell me what's wrong. How can I help you fix it? And he's also a solution-based person. So if I give him a problem, he's going to try to solve it. If I'm telling him I'm tired, he's going to race me home so I can get into bed. You know what I mean? And it's like, sometimes I'm not really looking for you to solve my problem. Sometimes I'm just looking for you to listen. Because I want to solve it myself. Again, trauma. I know, crazy. It's crazy. But again, grateful that God did not give me what I thought I wanted back then, because I did not know that he had this amazing of a blessing for me now. And this blessing is so amazing that it's allowing me to, again, unlearn all of my negative behaviors and learn and pour so much into myself. I used to say this, like when I first started dating this man, I said, I want to get to a point where I love myself and I see myself the way that he sees me and the way that he loves me. Because that man worships the ground that I fucking walk on. Literally. And it wasn't until a couple months ago that I finally was like, oh no, I love her the same way, if not more. You know what I mean? Like, because you can't love yourself. You can't love nobody else until you love yourself, for real. So like, I can't pour from an empty cup. So that's something that I really had to learn, because it was like, if I don't learn that, and if I don't love myself equally as much, if not more, as this man loves me, I'm going to lose him or he going to lose me. One way or the other, and we going to lose each other. So that was something that I really was like, okay, number one, I want to love him the way that he loves me, because not only does he take care of me, but he really pours into me when it comes to words of affirmation or just like everything. He checks every fucking box. But also, shit, what did I say? Fuck. Shit, I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, so I think that this relationship has probably been something that, again, I never saw coming, but I'm grateful that God felt like it was time for me to receive. But yeah, I think that this is probably the most amazing blessing that God has given me, because, and it's so interesting because I had a conversation with Tiana, actually, and I also had the conversation on camera with Rhea, which you'll see next week. But my last relationship had ended probably like 4 months before I met the person that I'm with now. And in that 4 month time span, the whole boss man situation fucking happened. And then, like, I was just so checked out. So, like, Tiana had asked me, like, how are you so receptive to this new love after that situation had ended, or after your last relationship, and then after that situation? And I just have to say that, like, God's timing that He has had for me has been so strategic, but so perfect. It's crazy, because I'm happy everything happened the way that it did, because I wouldn't be as prepared for this love that I have now. So not only does He check all of my boxes and He takes care of me and He helps me in tremendous ways than I've ever been helped before, but He's just helping me figure out all the rest of my life also. Like, this is somebody that I can talk about my career and my finances with. This is somebody that I can talk about my gym and my weight loss journey with. You know what I mean? Like, this is somebody that I could really talk about every aspect of life with, and He's going to understand. He's going to do everything that He can to help me find a solution. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful. This is the best relationship I've ever been in my life, and I want to be here forever. Thank you. Another topic that I really want to talk about is my friendships, because that has been one of the hardest fucking parts of my life as of recently, because in April, in the beginning of April, I ended a 10-year plus relationship or friendship with one of my really, really, really good friends, because, and this is not even me trying to bash her, because there's really nothing to bash her for. Am I kind of, does it put a bad taste in my mouth? Absolutely. But basically, she had told me that for the past 2 years, she had been kind of tallying all of the things that she was not okay with, I guess, that I either said to her or I did to her or whatever, and decided to tell them all to me the beginning of my birthday month. And deemed it as I was someone that she did not feel like she could express herself openly to without me being confrontational, to say the least. And y'all know me. Yes, if I feel like I gotta take it there, I will take it there, and I will be confrontational. I'll be aggressive. I'll be fucking disrespectful. I'll be all the things. But when it comes to the people I love, that's not me. So for that to be her perspective and her narrative, that hurt me more than any fucking thing that has hurt me recently. Truly and honestly. That shit still hurts me, and I still think about it, because it's like, when you lose somebody like that, in the midst of you gaining all these new friendships and meeting all these new people, you're side-eyeing every fucking body, because it's like, that shit was weird. For you to feel some type of way about me for 2 whole years, and the whole time, mind you, for the whole 2 years, we kicking it, we hanging out, we going on dates, double dates, we're doing a lot of things that would make me continue to believe that we had something that we really didn't. So that is so weird and so evil to me. Like, that shit is so fucking hurtful. And even when I'm talking about it now, I'm trying to be mindful, again, trying to be mindful of what I say and what I don't say. Because again, it's not about me bashing the person. It's about me sharing my experience. And my experience, I just thought that shit was whack. I thought that shit was really, really weird, to say the least, as someone that I was friends with for 10 years. So yeah, I'm looking at everybody sideways, and I kind of have put myself in a little bit of an isolation mode, because I don't know who to trust. I don't know who's really here for the long run. I don't know who really has my back for real. I don't know much about anything when it comes to the whole friendship aspect of life. And I feel like I have someone that I have a close friends on my Instagram, on my personal Instagram. And one of the girls that's in there, shout out to Autumn, love you, girl. she had been posting a lot about like her friendships turning sour and her friends turning into haters and being weird. And I never thought I'd be in a situation like that. But it's so funny because Autumn is a Taurus too. And Autumn is, it's so funny because it's so funny when you see other people who are the same zodiac sign as you who act just like you and speak just like, it's just so funny because I see so many similarities between me and her. So when she had been posting about it for like, she had been posting about it for a while because she was going through it for a while with multiple of her friends. Thankfully, it's only one for me because, girl. But that was when it triggered in my mind, like, damn, that sucks. And then literally 2 months later, shit happened to me, girl. Then I was watching the podcast Behind the Likes. I love that show. Yeah. But they had been asking each other questions about like friendships and everything. And one of them that stuck out to me was like, if you met your friend as the person you are now, would you still want to be their friend? And with this particular situation, I feel like that's a great question because I feel like we often try to say that like history is what makes everything. Like the longer you know somebody, the better the friendship and all the things. But realistically, I knew somebody for 10 years and I feel like at the end of the friendship, she didn't really know shit about me. She didn't know me at all. And that's crazy because you were in my life for 10 years. How the fuck you don't know how I really operate and how I really am? And you know what I mean? Like that just baffles the shit out of me. So it's almost like now it has me looking at all my friendships like, damn, no matter if I met you 2 years ago, 5 years ago, or 10 fucking years ago, if I met you right now, today in 2026, would I want to fuck with you? And I think that is so logical. And it really has had me breaking down and analyzing every single one of my friendships because sometimes the answer may be no. And if it's no, then like, what the fuck changed? But then also, if it's no, we also have to understand that in our friendships, we're not always going to be the same people. I seen another post where it was like, how have you and your best friends, how have you and your best friend been friends for so long? And it's like, because we didn't expect each other to be the same. So it's like, it's a toss up. Friendships, female friendships to be exact, are so hard because I was talking about this with my boyfriend the other day and I was like, when men fight, y'all might shoot the 30 real quick and be cool the next day because I was like, you know what, bro, I was tripping. I fuck with you. You my homie for real. Like I was tripping. Female friendships are so much more emotionally based and so, oh my God, there's so many things that go onto it. And like a female friendship breakup is probably worse than breaking up with your man. And that is so fucking painful. We are in July and I am sitting talking about this friendship that ended in April because when I tell you that shit has been so painful, it's unbelievable. And there's so many things that I've just been learning about friendships because it's like, you also, fun fact, another thing to say, as women, we give these men so many chances, chance after chance after chance. If your homegirl fuck up one time, you're done with her. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Oh my God, are we okay? Are we fucking okay? Then another Instagram reel I saw was a woman basically saying, like, find friends that love their lives and love themselves so that they don't start to hate you later on. Oh my God, when I saw that was a fucking bar. That was a fucking bar. Find friends that love themselves and love their lives so that they don't hate you down the line. Oh my goodness. Hello? Story of my life? Okay. Then I'm going back and forth because it's like, I kind of wish I wish I didn't share so many deep things with certain people because it was later used against me and it ended up, you're not even going to be in my life for real for the long run. But then again, I can't even say that because I just never thought it would be used against me. And I really thought we was friends. And I feel like as friends, you vent to each other and you tell each other things and you use each other as, outlets. And that's exactly what I did. So I can't really be mad at myself or beat myself up or even expand on that thought when it's like, oh, I wish I never told her this. I wish I never did this. Girl, if I did that, I'd be depressed as hell because this is the same person that when Bane died 3 years ago, this is the first person remember, my mom was out of town. So when Bane died, she called all of my homegirls, my uncle, my auntie, everything. This is the first person that my mom hopped on the phone with and said, yo, I'm out of town. Bane just died. I really need you to get to the hospital. And this person sat with me in the hospital when my dog died for hours. So excuse me for being fucking angry. Excuse me for really being confused as to how we got here. But I'm gonna let you rock, because if that's how you feel about me, all right. I can't change no narrative that you created in your head about me that's untrue. I don't know. Child, whatever. It's neither here nor there. But there has been so much growth in how I've been handling things that's my main focus. Because again, you told me I was confrontational. You told me I was aggressive, and what did I do? I got out the car. I immediately got out the car and I walked away. I said, we're gonna have to talk about this another day, because once you hurt my feelings to a point that I feel like there is no return, yeah, I become confrontational. So in that moment, I said, you know what, I love you, but I gotta remove myself from this conversation. So I never even got a chance to defend myself, for real. So like, so there's a lot of, I will remove myself before I put myself in a position for you to create any narrative about me at this point. And that friendship ending taught me that, for sure. I'm accepting all narratives of those who know me. I may be an asshole to some. I may be a bitch to others. And if you call me a bitch, yeah, I'm a bitch. Because at least I'd rather be a bitch. I'd rather be a bitch who don't let people play in her face than not be a bitch. Honestly, truly. So yeah, I accept all narratives. If somebody might tell you I'm an asshole, one person might tell you I'm the most amazing person in the world. Believe them all. Okay? Believe them all. Because I am an asshole. Yeah, sometimes. And I'm 9 times out of 10 the most amazing person that people meet often. So believe them all. Believe them all. Believe them all narratives. I don't care. I went from someone who felt like she had to explain herself all the time so that there was no gray areas, and so people couldn't take my words and run with it and create their own perception, to someone who will let you believe whatever you want and run with whatever narrative you want. I don't care. Your perception of me does not really essentially have anything to do with me. You know what I mean? That's on you. So yeah, I'm not changing nobody's narrative. I'm not doing none of that. I'm cool. Just a little astrology fact. Your rate since May of 2018 and formally locking in during March 2019, Uranus has left Taurus, which means that is the end of a rough 7 years for Tauruses, Leos, Scorpios, and Aquariuses. Uranus is a planet of sudden change, chaos, and liberation. It has been shaking up your traditionally ground. Wait, what? It has been shaking up your traditionally grounded, stability-loving sign, Uranus through Taurus, which officially ended on April 25th, 2026, 2 days before my 26th birthday. Let's keep that in mind. Uranus will not return to Taurus for another 84 years. This means you were constantly pushed out of your comfort zone, experiencing unexpected shifts in your career, relationships, and personal identity. While highly unpredictable, this period broke down limiting attachments and forced massive personal growth. Now that Uranus has moved into Gemini, the era of unpredictable breakdowns is transitioning into a period of closure. You are completely transformed, stronger, and wiser, in the wiser version of yourself. You can finally integrate these lessons and settle into the new life and boundaries you built. I had to put that in there because I have a colleague who's also a Taurus, and right after my birthday, she sent me all of the information about this, and she was like, you're about to walk into the best season of your life because you have been holding it down and weathering the storm for the past 7 years, and you're about to really walk into some blessings. And I ain't gonna lie, I feel it, and I'm ready for it, and I'm ready. So if you are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, make room for your blessings expeditiously right now. Okay. The closing. I have a closing here. I can't believe we sat and talked for, this is probably over an hour. I don't even know. But lastly, I know I thanked y'all in the beginning of the episode, but I have to thank you again for your patience and waiting this long for an episode, because nobody has unfollowed me on the podcast page. Nobody has blocked me. Nobody's been like, all right, fuck this bitch. Everybody's just been waiting patiently and knowing that I'm going to come back soon. And I really appreciate that. I'm back and I'm here to stay. The summer is the time where Just Stay usually thrives anyway. I know I'm a little late because it is July, but I'm glad that I'm getting this episode out before August because, girl, like, hello. Summer would have been fucking over if I got back in August. So summer is usually my thriving time. I have a lot of amazing things in the works, career-wise, personal-wise, podcast-wise. Like, I have so many things that, like, I'm just trying to navigate through so that I can tell y'all about it when it's ready. Um, I'm looking forward to getting back into my collabs, bringing more experiences and stories to the show. 5 years of Just Jay will be on August 12th. I also want to get my man on the couch for sure. I know I was trying to be funny and say that like I really don't want y'all to look at him, even though he is a fine, fine black man. But I do think that like the way he showed up and showed out at the live show was like everything that I ever wanted to see and more, because Raquel, who is a licensed marriage coach, she was also one of the women that had a panel up on the live show. She has a card game. I wish I had it down here. I have it upstairs. She has a card game for couples. Actually I think she has two versions, a singles one and a couples one. But she had us go up to start her panel and pull questions and all the things. And he actually got up there on that stage and actually did it with me. So that was like a different bag that I seen him in, because this whole time he was like, no, I'm never sitting on the couch with you. I never record. I don't like seeing myself, blah, 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 all the fucking bullshit. And that man really got up there for that live show and did his big one. So I would love to get him on the couch. The 3-year anniversary of Bane passing was just a couple weeks ago in June 18th, actually. I have I didn't even tell y'all. Y'all know about Stitch. Stitch is the Frenchie that I had while Bane was here. I got him when Bane was still alive. But Stitch just had some babies a couple weeks ago. I think like 7 or 8 weeks ago. And one of his children is living in my house now. So now I have 2 dogs named Stitch and Smoke, who are Frenchies, father and son. Ain't that some fucking crazy shit? Also, Nick's in 5. Hello, because we also missed that last time we spoke. Nick's in 5. You know what's so crazy about that? My dad had me strapped to the motherfucking couch watching them damn games. And my dad is about to be 53 August 2nd. And he literally said, I've been waiting my whole life for this. So, and like living in New York and being a New Yorker, like that was probably the best time ever. And it was starting this summer. Like, Nick's in 5. It's just all I gotta say. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. I love you. I would love to interview you one day. Oh my God, my dad would probably boo-hoo cry the whole time during the interview, sitting on the sidelines, and I wouldn't even be able to get a fucking question out because he would be so in awe of you. But yeah, if Jalen Brunson ever sees this, or Josh Hart, I'm willing to interview them all. So, Nick's, call me. Thank you. I love y'all. I'm so happy to be back sitting on the couch. I appreciate everybody who listened to this entire episode. I know it was probably long and I was jumping all around because I had so much to say, but I'm so happy to be back. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for listening to another episode of Just Jay the Podcast. We'll be back next week.